My name is Daniel Enriquez, and I'm going to be presenting about the Picture Exchange Communication System, or PEX for short. So, PEX is a communication system that allows individuals with little or no speech to find a way to functionally communicate using pictures. So they can communicate a request, a thought, or anything that you could really show using a picture. So an activity or an emotion. And this is just a sample board. This is not what they all look like, but this is just a pretty generic one that I found that I wanted to use for the demonstration. So it has different snacks they like, different activities, clothing, and it even includes the I want or I see or thank you, giving them a lot of different options to really be able to communicate with it. And of course, as they get more familiar with PEX, they'll get better at using it and become much more second nature once they really got familiar with it. So how to use it. So initially you have to teach the child or client that you are exchanging the picture to get something or to express yourself to really communicate with another person. So for example, if I was teaching a client how to use PEX for the first time, I'd probably do it maybe in a discrete trial, in a table setting, so I could really control everything. So for example, if I know they're very motivated by cookies, I would have the cookie picture ready and actually have the real tangible cookie in view. So I'll probably the first trial, I'll go and teach them, I'll prompt immediately and say, cookie, and I'll swap the picture for the cookie, and we'll continue to run trials so they'll learn that using the cookie picture will get them the cookie. And then that's just the first step, so they're familiar with the exchange. But then once they're more familiar with it, you can generalize it to other settings. So I wouldn't do it just in a DTT anymore. I would actually go into the kitchen and have them ask for cookie there, or maybe during play, while they're on the carpet or doing an activity with their parents or something. That way they're able to really use it very naturally and just kind of default to cookie whenever they want it. They'll give their parent the picture card and then they'll get the cookie. And of course, then you have them discriminate against pictures. That way they're familiar that there's a lot of different pictures they can use and actually see that there's a large variety of pictures to request for things. And of course, then you can work on building sentences. I want apple versus him just maybe labeling apple. So I want apple, and then we'll know that he wants the apple. Or I see apple. That way he just knows that he's communicating that he sees the apple, but maybe he doesn't want the apple. And then you can move on to asking questions. So, what do you want? Or you can move on to even expressions. So, how are you feeling? What is that over there? And it's just a great tool for individuals who have a delay in speech or no at all, because it gives them a way to functionally communicate with others. And I think one of its strengths is that it can be used almost anywhere. You can specifically tailor it to maybe a school to create a picture schedule. So maybe say, first we do this, and then that way they're aware, and then they can maybe choose the next thing they wanted to do. And you can do it at homes or even in the community. So for example, if they're portable, they're inexpensive because you can make them anywhere. This cost me nothing. I just printed it out from my computer. But you're basically able to cater to whatever you need to. So if you're in the community, you can maybe give them a little pouch if they're at CVS or wherever and they want to purchase something, then they can actually have a picture card ready to use it. So that's, I think, one of its strengths. But the most important thing for PEX to be successful is consistency across all parties. So if you're using it at home if you're using it at school, and you want to use it at home, you have to make sure that the parents at home are trained on how to use PEX, because if the teachers at school really are consistent with PEX and are properly implementing it, and then it goes at home and the child doesn't get the same type of reinforcement, or the same type of natural contingencies that they would get at school, then maybe they'll be less likely to use it and won't be as effective. So proper training is key on how to use PEX. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It's, I think, a great tool, and yeah, that's it.